Welcome back. Today I'm going to go through your January market update. We will be using December statistics because I completely forgot before starting to record this video that the stats don't get updated until the week after the month is already over. So this video will be moved from something we do at the end of the month to more the middle of the month as soon as those stats come out from now on. I will, though, be pulling in some more recent statistics in terms of where our interest rates are at and then give you a bit more of a market forecast for 2021, since I know that's what everybody is nervous about, is trying to time this market and seeing when or if we're going to have this bubble pop. I want to touch on two main points that you're going to see in these market reports. The first one being your median price. That is going to dictate how competitive your market is in that certain area. Usually if you are right at or below the median price, it's going to be much higher seller's market than it will a buyer's, just because of the amount of people that can actually afford properties in that price range. And the second piece is going to be the months of inventory left. Basically, what you're doing with that number is whatever board is stating this is how many houses that we have on the market and here's how many buyers, and they're estimating how long it would take for those buyers to buy up every house on the market. So the lower that number is, obviously the more scarce the inventory is and the more competitive the market is. But let's get into the stats. I've explained some of the important parts that you're going to want to look through in these housing reports. So the biggest difference really between this report and the one that Austin provides is going to be this price distribution area. That is helpful for showing kind of where you're going to see differences in terms of your sellers versus buyers market. Just because a market is overall a seller's market does not necessarily mean that every house is just going to fly off the shelf. As you can see here, we've got a couple properties, that are above the $500,000 range or something. That is considered like high luxury for the Bell County area. Those are still going to have some difficulty selling. I mean, that is going to be a buyer's market. You're going to have a lot more negotiations in those because there are just so few buyers actually looking in that range. Now, what you're looking at is going to be your median price range for the area. If you're at that, somewhere similar to that price range or below it, you as a buyer are going to have a very difficult time right now because of this difference in our active listings and our closed sales. With the active listings being so much lower than they were last year, we are incredibly short on supply. And then the closed sales still growing shows that despite having that limited supply, we have significantly more buyers. And that's leaving us right here at that 0.6 months of inventory. So I'm going to hop on over to the Killeen housing report because that's kind of where the majority of people that buy in the greater Fort Hood area are going. If you want information on any of the other specific cities, feel free to check out my website, check out my Facebook. I'll have these reports. And then if you have any questions about anything, let me know. So in Killeen, we have a pretty similar scenario as we do for Bell County as a whole. Our median price range is $170,000. Realistically, we're seeing here pretty much anything about $200,000 and below is going to be an extreme seller side advantage. We used to be able to negotiate that the seller covers closing costs for the buyers and, about 90% of our contracts, and that is just not happening anymore. We are maybe able to get a few of them where we can get some of the closing costs covered, but honestly, if you're looking to buy in Killeen under the $200,000 mark, be prepared, even if you're using the VA loan, that you may need to come with some closing costs. There's actually a greater change in the active listings, albeit a smaller increase in the closed sales, but there's only a half month of inventory available in Killeen right now. So things are very scarce out here, and it is incredibly difficult for buyers to get places. I would absolutely recommend giving some additional time if you're really looking to buy, because people used to come out here and start looking, 30, 40 days out from needing a place to move into, and we could get that contract closed. But now I think we're averaging closer to 5 or 6 contracts per client just to be able to get them a house, because that's how competitive the market is right now. I'm going to really quickly touch on the greater Austin Round Rock MSA. That is basically everything that I would consider the greater Austin area, and that kind of goes from Jarrell all the way down to Buda. So our median sales price has increased, as has everything else here, and they're sitting at 0.6 months of inventory. I'm going to jump on over. I'm going to touch on Travis County first, and then we'll go through kind of what's going on with Williamson County as a result. So Travis County, our median sales price right now is $435,000. As you can see, they've got that increase of 20%. Just keep in mind that is not the appreciation amount. That is a median sales price, which, you know, could mean that we've just got a lot more expensive houses that are selling, and the cheaper houses in the market are, you know, staying rented out or whatever. But it doesn't necessarily mean that's how much we are appreciating. So don't get too excited if you're an investor. And then we're down to that 0.6 months from 1.4 months worth of inventory previously. Now, if you're looking really anywhere around this median sales price, so like $450,000 or less, honestly, I'm even hearing accounts of luxury range properties, you know, around like your 800,000 mark, where they're getting multiple offers. It is insanely difficult to get anything here. And that's why I'll hop over to the Williamson County page. We have a lot of people moving towards Williamson County, specifically the Georgetown, Liberty Hill, and Leander areas. Those are kind of the next phase of growth, if you will, for the greater Austin area. For Williamson County, we're getting a ton of people that originally wanted to buy in the Austin area, and they're pushing out further, like I said, to the Georgetown, Liberty Hill, Leander areas. There are a ton of new builds coming up in this area. And so that's where a lot of people are going, specifically because new builds typically are going to be first come, first serve. With less than half a month of inventory out in this area, it kind of shows. I mean, the fact that we had 0.8 months fewer of inventory in Travis County, and we're down 1.4 months worth here. The growth is really pushing outside of Austin and into these other cities nearby. So those were our local area specific stats. Now, the big picture stuff is going to be our interest rates, and then honestly our political situation in reference to the foreclosure market. So as rates have decreased, the market has gone significantly up because more people are wanting to get into these record low rates. And I know the big fear is, when are these rates going to shoot back up? We are still seeing rate drops. So honestly, the end for that is not in sight. We have no clue right now when those rates are going to pop back up. And then I know that even when they do, the government is trying to push for that to be a gradual increase so that we don't have things happen like what happened in 2008. The second piece on that is going to be the foreclosure market. Obviously, there are a ton of people in forbearance right now, and if all of them were allowed to be foreclosed on tomorrow, and we started seeing a bunch of low-priced properties on the market because the banks don't want to hold them and they need to sell them quickly, yes, that would make a drastic impact on our market. However, because of the recent increases that we've seen in prices, a large portion of people that were in forbearance are able to sell their properties and not have to come out of pocket too much. And so that is drastically reducing how many potential foreclosures we're going to see in the future. Plus, those foreclosures have been stopped until now. It's September. We will see where that gets pushed to. So if you were hoping for the market to drop in the near future, good luck, because I don't think that's going to happen in 2021. At least not based on the information that we have right now. If you guys want any more information, or you want some more market specific stats for your city or even your specific house, I'm happy to do a comparative market analysis for you so you can see the true value that you can get for your home. Feel free to like, subscribe, follow me, check out my page, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We've got a TikTok going right now, so check that out. Hoping to put some interesting stuff on there later. And yeah, feel free to message me anytime for more information.